Is it off now?
Yes.
No, just, I was talking to somebody in the courtroom.
Oh, okay.
All right, court's on the record, Commerce City Municipal Court for the afternoon session of March 17th of 2022. For the people that are on Zoom, please mute your devices. I will ask you to unmute your device when I'm ready to call your case. For the people that are in the courtroom, when I call your name, I'm going to direct you to come forward to one of the three stations in the front of the courtroom. While you're at the station, I just need you to speak loudly and clearly. One of my responsibilities today is to make sure that everything that you say gets properly recorded. After you're done at that station, I'll direct you to see my clerks in the lobby. Their windows are located to the left once you've exited through the double doors at the rear of the courtroom. So when you're done in here, go out the double doors and make a left before you get to the metal detector, and that'll get you to my clerk's windows. We'll start with Charles Sequest, case number EM 14031. If you'd come forward to station number 1, please. Good afternoon. I have a document that alleges that on February 27th of 2022, at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, in the area of 11089 Havana Street here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of trespass. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes, sir.
All right, the city attorney said he reviewed the elements of the charge of trespass. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty of committing this offense if your case proceeded to trial. Did he go over those elements with you?
You did.
All right, he also indicated to me that he's offering you what's called a deferred prosecution. We're not going to ask you to enter any plea today. We'll simply hold your case in suspense for 6 months. If you waive your right to a speedy trial, agree not to return to the property at 11089 Havana Street, and commit no new law violations, excluding routine traffic violations, at the end of 6 months, without the need for you to appear, I can open your case, enter the order for dismissal, and then your case would be eligible to be sealed if you wanted to do that. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have the right today to plead not guilty to committing this offense. If you did, the city would be obligated to bring your case to trial within 91 days of today's date. That's your right to a speedy trial. By agreeing to have your case held in suspense for 6 months, we're obviously going beyond the 91 days. Are you willing to waive your right to the speedy trial to take advantage of this offer?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to waive your right to a speedy trial against your will? Has anyone promised you anything other than what we've discussed to get you to waive that right? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
Yes, sir.
I will accept that you've made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of your right to a speedy trial. Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces? Okay. So when you go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerk, they're going to give you a notice of when the 6 months is up. Assuming nothing happens between now and then, after that date, you can contact my staff. They'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal. And then if you want to see how to go about sealing this on your record, my clerks can provide that information at that time. Do you have any questions? All right, go ahead and go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerk. Mhm. It's falling off. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Just leave it. It's on the chair.
I'll just toss it to you. I figure you have more. Mary Davis, if you would come to station number 2, that's the lectern right in the middle. Of course, is on the record in case number EM 4313. Good afternoon.
Hello.
I have a document that alleges that on February 28th of 2021, shortly before 7 o'clock in the evening, in the area of the 7200 block of East 69th Avenue, here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you engaged in disorderly conduct. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
I do.
All right, the city attorney said he explained the elements of the charge of disorderly conduct with you. In other words, he explained if this case went to trial, what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty of this charge. Did he go over those elements with you?
He did.
All right. Oh, he also indicates that he's offering you a 6-month deferred prosecution. What that means is you're not being asked to enter any plea today. You don't have to plead guilty or not guilty. We'll simply hold your case in suspense for the next 6 months. If you waive your right to a speedy trial, agree not to have any direct contact with Sandra Perez, Gustavo Perez Nahara. Do not harass, annoy, alarm, molest, or in any other way communicate with them, either yourself or through third parties, and commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations. At the end of 6 months, if everything's in order, I can dismiss this case. And yep, you would be eligible to have the record of this case sealed. Is this how you wish to resolve your case?
I do.
All right, you may have heard me explain it to the gentleman before you. The same applies to you. If you decided today to plead not guilty, we would have to have your case set for trial within 91 days of today's date. That's your right to a speedy trial. By going out 6 months, we're going beyond 91 days. Are you willing to waive your right to a speedy trial in order to take advantage of this offer?
Yeah.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to waive your right to a speedy trial against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone promised you anything that I'm not aware of to get you to waive that right? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Okay, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
I did.
And are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces? Okay. I'll find that you made a knowing, intelligent, voluntary waiver of your right for a speedy trial. We'll grant you these 6 months to deferred judgment and sentence. I'm sorry, deferred prosecution. I'm ordering you not to have contact with Sandra Perez, Gustavo Perez Nájera, and to commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations for a period of 6 months. Do you have any questions? All right, if you go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerks, they'll give you the notice of when the 6-month period is up, okay?
Can I hold for my other half in this?
Sure. Not a problem. Give me just a moment. Michael Ulbrich, if you would come to station number 3, this is case number EM 4314. Okay, I have a document that alleges that on February 28th of 2022, shortly before 7 o'clock in the evening, in the area of the 7200 block of East 69th Avenue, here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you engaged in disorderly conduct. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? All right, city attorney indicates that he reviewed the elements of that charge with you, explaining what he would have to prove if this case proceeded to trial in order for you to be found guilty. Did he go over those elements with you? He also indicates that you're being offered a 6-month deferred prosecution, so that if you waive your right to a speedy trial, agree to have no contact with Sandra Perez or Gustavo Perez Nájera, and commit no new law violations, excluding routine traffic violations, for a period of 6 months. At the end of that 6 months, without the need for you to appear, this case will be dismissed and would be eligible to be sealed. Is this how you wish to resolve your case? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Are you currently a veteran or a member of the United States Armed Forces? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to waive your right to a speedy trial against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to waive that right? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? All right, I'll go ahead and find that you've made a knowing, intelligently, and voluntary waiver of your right to a speedy trial. We'll set this matter for a 6-month review on the deferred prosecution. I'm ordering you not to have any contact with Sandra Perez or Gustavo Perez Nájera and to commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations for a period of 6 months. Do you have any questions? All right, if you go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerks, they'll give you the information on when the 6 months is up. Uh-huh. All right, Miguel Corona, if you would unmute your device, please. Miguel Corona? Okay, Mr. Corona, you need to unmute your device.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. All right, we're on the record in case number EM 7210. I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added charge of engaging in disorderly conduct on February 4th of 2022 at about 9:30 at night in the area of the 4400 block of East 61st Place here in Commerce City, the city attorney will dismiss the original discharge of weapon charge that was filed against you in this case. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, sir.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes.
Do you understand if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you are waiving all of the trial and appeal related rights that you were advised of in that video?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this added charge against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Then to the added charge of engaging in disorderly conduct on February 4th of 2022 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No, sir.
Okay. And when the city attorney reviewed the elements of the charge with you, did he review the elements of both of the charges, the original discharge of weapon charge, in addition to the disorderly conduct charge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you did both.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm going to accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. I'm going to dismiss the discharging weapon charge. Okay, and is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No.
Okay, it does not look like the police impounded the weapon. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
no, yes, correct.
All right, that's fine. Did you lose your job over this?
I did.
All right, because they asked that we order that you not return to that location.
Yeah, I did.
All right, so
yeah,
it's, yeah, 4400 East 61st Place. Give me just a moment.
of course.
What kind of work did you do there?
It was galvanizing metal. Honestly, I wouldn't do much. I was just like a supervisor.
Ooh. Yeah, this was not a good idea.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah, all right. Good news is nobody was hurt. It doesn't look like any property was damaged. All right, so I can treat this as a minimal offense. Give me just a second. I just need to check one more thing.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no, nothing else. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just impose a fine of $100
Okay.
plus surcharges, plus court costs. I'm not
Okay.
gonna suspend any jail. I'm not gonna require you to forfeit the weapon or anything like that. So it'll just be a fine of $100 plus surcharges and court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerks are gonna reach out to you by email, either later today or tomorrow. They're gonna tell you what the total is. They'll tell you how to make payment. If you need a payment plan, they'll work that out for you as well. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay,
Actually, if let's say I don't receive my email for any
Anything?
reason, I could just call the court, right?
Yep, just call the court and they'll tell you what the payment plans are. They're gonna send the email to the address that you used to sign up for today's hearing.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Is it Adams County here in Brighton?
No, it's Commerce City,
Okay. Okay.
Commerce City Court, okay?
Okay. Sounds good. Thank
All
you,
right,
man.
you can go,
I really appreciate you.
sure, you lost your job, that's a pretty big bite out of all of this.
Yeah, I'm not trying to lose my firearm rights, I mean, out here you never know.
Yep,
Just did a
All right.
bad choice. Thank you.
yeah, okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting, have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You too, man.
I'm gonna need Mr. Collins here on this too. Want to call him, ask him to step in? He's doing a Zoom. Mr. Gowan, I've got the Presswood cases in front of me. I have Drake Presswood, who is 13 years old. Okay, so the defendant, you need to amend it to show that Sean Presswood, age 18, is Dean Presswood. 9687. Summons says Sean Presswood, age 18, born 5/8/2003. Well, presumably Drake's looks correct. Drake shows he's born in 2008. That's Drake's. And then the other ticket, 9687, is Sean. No, I'm going to have him do it. I'll take care of somebody else while he's fixing it. Yeah, I know. He's going to have to take it to his office and fix it. All right. Andrew Romero, you would come to station number 1, please. All right. Good morning. I'm sorry, it's good afternoon. I'm calling case number EM 6705. This is a case that you got back on January 24th of 2022 for a charge that happened at 4850 East 62nd Avenue. It looks like the city attorney is agreeing to dismiss this case. You need to understand that you're still not allowed to go back to the King Superstore for any reason whatsoever. Do you understand that? All right, so that case is dismissed. The city attorney says that you're pleading guilty in case number 6195 to the charge of trespass, which happened on February 9th of 2022 at about 3:30 in the afternoon in the area of 6302 East 62nd Avenue here in Commerce City. Is that how you wish to resolve that case, by pleading guilty to that charge? Okay, well, first I'll get through the plea, then I'll let you give an explanation. Okay. All right. Did you watch the advisement of rights for this case? Or the last time you were here? All right. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge of trespass, you are waiving all of the trial and appeal related rights that you were advised of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will? No? Okay. Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? I need you to answer out loud. This is being recorded. Okay. And are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the charge of trespass on February 9th of 2022 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
No.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Give me just a moment. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. All right. You wanted to make an explanation. Now would be the time. What do you want me to know?
Person that's here at 7-Eleven, I cannot cross the sidewalk. He's demanding stay away. The issue is girlfriend I had, he jealous because I got her. No, nobody. That's the thing. That's why he doesn't like. I won't go with him. But he keeps harassing me.
That's what it is.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, you can't even cross the parking lot.
I called the police. I called the police before we.
It doesn't matter who called the police first. You know that you've been trespassed off the property. You can't even cross the parking lot on the property. You can't stand outside and wait for friends to go into the store. You can't do any of that. You simply have to avoid that property. Same thing holds true of the King Supers. I've already just told you, you can't go to the King Supers. That includes hanging around the parking lot. You can't go there. That's all part of the property that's subject to their control and their lease, okay? Okay, are you working at all?
I'm fixing
How much do you make a month?
800. I'm living on the street.
All right. All right, listen carefully to how I'm imposing the sentence on this case. All right, first I'm going to impose and suspend all of a 15-day jail sentence. The entire jail sentence is suspended on the following conditions. One, I'm imposing the minimum fine, $50 plus surcharges plus court costs. I'm going to allow you to pay it at $25 a month. That's the minimum amount of payment I'm going to accept. Second, I am going to order that you do 16 hours of useful public service. We'll give you some time to get that done in. You can volunteer, food banks, Goodwill, churches, schools. Make sure the place you pick is a legitimate nonprofit. That's the only requirement that I make, is you can do it anywhere. It doesn't have to be done in Commerce City, but the place that you pick to do it must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. Find a place that you want to volunteer at, make sure it's a legitimate nonprofit. Do the work, have them fill out the form. My clerks are going to give you 6 weeks within which to return the form. Now, in addition to the King Supers, which I've already ordered, I'm ordering you not to return to the property at 7-Eleven. It's at 6302 72nd Avenue. Don't step foot on their property again. Do you understand that?
Sure.
All right. How's he going to harass you if you're not there?
He does.
If you're not there, how's he going to harass you? You stay away from the property. And if you see him someplace else, tell him to leave you alone and walk away from him. Okay? I'm not issuing a restraining order against a person. I'm issuing a restraining order telling you not to go back onto that property. Okay?
Understand.
All right. You're also to commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations for a period of 1 year. Okay? Do you have any questions about what's expected of you? All right, if you'll go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerks, they're going to work out the payment arrangements at $25 per month for the minimum fine and the court costs. They'll give you the community service form, and then the rest is easy. Stay off the property of the 7-Eleven and stay out of trouble. Any questions? All right, if you go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerks, they'll take care of it. Okay. I'm going to do these next. I'm going to call both of these matters up at the same time, although I'll treat them individually. Sean Presswood, oh no, wait, Dean Presswood and Drake Presswood, if you would go with your parent to station number 3. It's just because there's more room there. All right, in case number 9687, the citation is amended to be Sean Presswood, date of birth May 8th of 2008, is now Dean Presswood, that date of birth, as opposed to Sean Presswood. So that amendment is granted. All right, in case number 9688, that's Drake Presswood. Which one of you is Drake? Good afternoon. And you're his mother?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. I have a document that alleges that on March 2nd of 2022, at 11:58 in the morning approximately, in the area of 15955 East 101st Way here in Commerce City, that's in the area of Stewart Middle School, it's alleged that Drake committed the offense of assault. Drake, do you understand what you're accused of doing? Okay, now the city attorney said that he reviewed the elements of that charge with you. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove for you to be found guilty at trial on this charge. Did he go over those elements with you? Okay. And he indicates to me that it's your desire to plead not guilty to committing this offense. Is that correct? Okay, good. Okay, and just to repeat again, oh wait, before I move on, Drake, did you watch the advisement of rights video? Okay. And again, you're his mother?
Yes,
And do you understand the original charge that was filed against your son?
yes, sir. And as I understand it, is that, that the thought is where he, initially called on. My question, I have a question now. That I'm thinking is okay, right?
Sure, go ahead. I can't talk about the facts of the case, but I can certainly answer procedural questions or questions about the charge. Go ahead.
So at that charge, if he were in a position that's where he felt that he were defending himself, can you be defending yourself and assault? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he can assert self-defense.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not an issue. All right, yeah, the prosecution would have to prove not only that he intentionally caused bodily injury, that he recklessly caused bodily injury. Those are two separate theories to another person, okay? And in this case, Drake, it's my understanding you wish to plead not guilty, correct? All right, now, do you understand the charge filed against your son?
I do understand.
Okay, and do you agree that your son is acting in his best interest by pleading not guilty to committing this offense?
Yes,
All right. And you're Raynette Presswood? Okay. Oh, spell it again. Uh-huh. A is, yeah, they have it with an E. Okay. Okay, so in Drake's case, vendor does not guilty plea. We'll set the matter for a trial to the court. If there's any witnesses that you wish to have present on the date of this trial that you believe will not appear in court voluntarily, let my clerks know. They'll issue subpoenas for you to use on those witnesses. They'll explain that they need to be served by somebody, not you, not your child. It has to be an adult over 18 who is not a party to the case. That's who has to serve the subpoenas on those people. And then they'll just fill out a statement that says they're the ones that handed it to the child. If the witnesses are juveniles, it has to be served on their parent or legal guardian, okay? Also, if you wish to get copies of the police officer's notes or the reports related to this case, ask my clerks. They'll arrange with the city prosecutor's office to give you all of the reports related to the case. That takes care of Drake's case. Dean Presswood, good afternoon. Yeah, just slide over a little. There you go. Thought I pulled it up and I pulled up the same one twice. Okay, I've already amended it from Sean to Dean, corrected the date of birth to May 8th of 2008. This one alleges that on March 2nd of 2022, at about 11:50 in the morning, in the area of 15955 East 101st Way here in Commerce City, again, in the area of Stewart Middle School, it's alleged that you committed the offense of assault. Dean, do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? Okay, again, the city attorney said he explained what the assault charge was to you, the elements of the charge. Did he go over that with you? There's an elements page missing. Oh, no, there it is. It was attached to the deferred. Never mind. And Dean, the city attorney says that you wish to plead not guilty to committing this offense. Is that correct? And did you watch the advisement of rights video? Okay, and again, you're Dean's mother? And you understand the charge that was filed against your son? And do you agree that your son is acting in his best interest by pleading not guilty to this charge? And Ms. Presswood, do you have any objection to both cases being heard at the same time? Do you have any objection to both cases being heard at the same time? I'm sorry?
Moving forward, no,
Okay, yeah. What'll happen is we'll just do one trial and it'll involve both of your boys. That way you don't have to come back on different days or anything. Okay, good.
for the trial.
No. Okay, so when the three of you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they're going to give you the notice of the trial date. They'll give you subpoenas if you need them for any witnesses that you think will not appear voluntarily. Make sure that you indicate to them that there's two cases so that they know to, if you want to get copies of the report, there's going to be slight differences. So make sure you ask for copies from both cases so that you get all of the reports related to both cases. And then when you come back, the case will proceed to trial, both cases. Any questions? Okay, the one thing I am going to order though is that you stay away from Roman Garcia.
They currently have, between the three boards, there's a no contract with me already.
Good, just honor that contract and we'll see what happens at your trial. Any questions from any of you? Okay, go ahead and go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerk. All right, court's on the record in EM 6707. Mr. Starkovich, if you would unmute your device, please. This is Joshua Blatchford's case.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I had requested if I could have a breakout room with Mr. Blatchford.
Okay, well, do you want to take care of Mr. Rust's case before you do that? And Mr. DeFleur's case?
It's up to you, Your Honor. Whatever you want to do, Your Honor, is fine.
All right, I want to get through as many of these as quickly as I can. So we'll go on the record in case number CM 303924. This is regarding Jacqueline Rusk.
Jacob Starkovich, attorney registration 32184, appearing on behalf of Ms. Rusk.
And the note I have says that she's currently in custody in Denver. Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge. I verified this morning and then even just this afternoon on case 22CR1222. She is in custody in Denver County Jail. Her booking date was March 3rd, 2022. She's still in custody. Her next court appearance is April 5th, 22 at 8:30 in 3G, and it looks like it's gonna be a preliminary hearing for felony distribution.
She's still on summons in this case.
Judge, she's had really good contact with me. I know if the court would entertain it, maybe set it for another summons after that date. I'm hoping that on that date, she will have been in custody for 30 days. Her bond's only $200, so I
felony?
haven't been able to, go ahead, I'm sorry.
It's $200 on the felony?
Yes, that's why I'm hoping, it looks like, I know with her other cases, I'm hoping that they're just gonna give her some type of credit or at least just let her out on some type of PR bond. If she's,
Yeah, what's her next return date? Did you say April what?
it is April 5th, 22.
Check your
8:38.
availability for April 14th at 1:15.
That'd be great. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to note on the Rule 211 that she FTA'd she's in custody in Denver. We can't do a video link to Denver. So that's through no fault of anyone that's except Denver's. So we'll go ahead and note that I've granted a motion to continue this matter for pretrial conference. We'll reset the pretrial conference to April 14th at 1:15. So that takes care of Ms. West. All right, so you'll receive a notice. Hopefully you'll be able to get in contact with her and have her appear on the 14th. Obviously, if she doesn't appear, then a warrant's going to issue for her arrest.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. First on the record regarding Jason DeFleur, case number EM 10613.
Jacob Starkovich, 32184, appearing on behalf of Mr. Daffler. Mr. Daffler and I both appear via WebEx or Zoom, I suppose.
Ours is Zoom, right? Give me a second while I pull up his case. City Attorney looks like he's agreeing to dismiss this case. Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Daffler was to do 32 hours of community service as well as a petty theft class, and he completed that. And I emailed that proof to the city attorney. I did not email it to the court, but I'm going to do that as soon as I log off.
I told Mr. Starkovich, as an officer of the court, I would take his word.
I appreciate that.
Why does this keep popping up like this? Come on. No. Come on. It's like it's one case behind me each time I pull up the case. All right, there we go. This is a theft and trespass charge out of the Walmart store here in Commerce City. Mr. Daffler, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your attorney has represented to the court that you've completed all the conditions of the diversion in this case. So I'm going to enter an order of dismissal. Mr. Starkovich, do you wish to have the record of this case sealed?
Judge, unfortunately, I did not speak with Mr. Daffler about that.
Okay, I'll waive the filing fee. I'll make a note on the file that if I receive the petition, it'll be granted. I'll enter the order of dismissal on today's date and leave the petition to seal between you and Mr. Daffler. But I'll make a note. If filed, it'll be granted. Is there
I'll talk
anything
to
else? Is there anything else I need to do on Mr. Daffler's case?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Daffler, my clerks will send you a copy of the order of dismissal. You need to understand, you still can't go back into the Walmart store for any reason. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then you can go ahead and leave the meeting and then contact Mr. Starkovich later and he'll explain what we were talking about in terms of sealing the record.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And Mr. Starkovich, you wanted to be put into a breakout room with Mr. Blatchford, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, my clerks will take care of that. Cody Lacy, if you would come to station number 2, it's the one right in the middle there. Good afternoon. I have a document that alleges that on February 27th of 2022, at about shortly before 4 o'clock in the afternoon, in the area of 11089 Havana Street here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of trespass. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? The city attorney said he reviewed the elements of that charge with you. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty if your case proceeded to trial. Did he go over those elements with you? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? You did not watch the advisement of rights video? Okay.
But he did tell me that I waived my rights.
Right, yeah, but this, yeah, it's not the exact same thing. Do you have like a cell phone on you? Okay, my clerk's gonna come up there because she has to clean the stations before I get to the next person. She'll explain where you have to go to watch the video. So then you'll go out to the lobby, watch that video. Then when you come back in, I'll go through the explanation. Oh, actually, if you go to the windows in the lobby, my clerks will have a little instruction card for you to review. I'll have you watch the video. As soon as you watch it, finish watching it, come back in and I'll recall your case, okay? Syria Atencio, if you would unmute your device, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Give me just a second while I pull your ticket up.
Okay.
Yes, please. Remember, we put the press was at 3. All right, let's see. Miss Atencio, this is case number EM 4299. I have a document that indicates, oh, yours is a pretrial case. All right. Yep, the city attorney is satisfied that you've successfully completed all of the conditions of the diversion in this case. So I'm going to enter the order for dismissal on today's date. My clerks will send that to you by email either later today or tomorrow. If you wish to have your case records sealed, you can respond to that email to my clerks and they can provide you information on how to file a petition to seal. I'll make a note that your case is eligible for that. There is a $65 filing fee that goes along with that petition. And whether or not you choose to have your record sealed is completely up to you. But for my purposes, I'm going to enter the order of dismissal today. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, so you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Just look for that email either later today or tomorrow, okay? All right, Anata Markovich or Counsel Michelle Aronovitz. If you would unmute your devices.
Good afternoon, Judge. For some reason, it says Carolina Arvizu for both of our accounts, but Michelle Aronovitz on behalf of Ms. Markovic.
You're not even going to try and offer an explanation as why it would say Carolina Arvizu?
That's my paralegal, Judge. I think when she had requested the Zoom link, she registered her name, and that is perhaps why it says her name on the account.
That's fine. So then, Ms. Markovich, that's you I see up on my screen as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What I show is that the city attorney is saying that this case can be set over for a pretrial conference. The offer is that if Ms. Markovich does 16 hours of use of public service, an adult making better choices class agrees to have no contact with Jaden, looks like Jones or James, looks like Jones, and commits no new law violation, upon the next appearance, the case can be dismissed. Ms. Aronovitz, is that a correct statement of the proposed disposition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and would you waive further reading and advisement on this matter?
I would.
Okay, and Ms. Markovich, do you understand what's being offered to you?
Yes.
And is this how you wish to resolve your case?
I think I need to talk to.
Okay, so you want to talk to her before you make a final decision?
Yes, if that's.
Okay, that's fine. You can do that between now and the next court date. Obviously, if you decide to follow it, then, you'll have the information on how to do it. If you choose not to follow it, she'll notify the court, and then at the next pretrial, we'll go forward in a different direction. Ms. Markovich, what's going to end up happening is that my clerks will send an email to you and to your attorney with the new, oh, wait, we need to pick a new court date. Haven't done that yet. We normally set these things 6 weeks out, but we're not having these kind of cases in 6 weeks. Do you know what April 27th looks like? The day before? Now let's just go into May. Don't you think? Ms. Aronovitz, can you check your schedule for May 5th at 1:15?
I'm available May 5th at 1:15.
But even that, I know.
How about, actually check your schedule for May 12th. That might be a better day.
I can accept that date as well.
All right, so we'll set this matter for a pretrial conference on May 12th at 1:15. You'll both get an email as a reminder notice of the new court date and time. My clerks will send out the referral to the people that put on the Adult Making Better Choices class. And they'll also send out the form we use for the community service. Ms. Aronowitz, it's my understanding you're also requesting discovery. So my clerks will refer this to the city prosecutor's office so they can provide you the discovery well in advance of that next court date.
Thank you, Judge.
In terms of the community service, your client can do it anywhere. It doesn't need to be done in Commerce City. She can do it at any legitimate nonprofit agency. She just needs to pick a place, make sure it's a legitimate nonprofit, do the community service, have the form filled out, and submit that back. If your client elects to take the class, she's going to need to contact them fairly soon to be able to sign up for the class and have it completed before that May 12th court date. And then the rest is easy. Stay away from Jaden Jones and commit no further violations, excluding routine traffic violations. If she elects to go that route, then on the next date, the judge will dismiss the case. If not, then we'll obviously set it for further proceedings after that date. Is there anything else I need to address with regard to this case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and well, you'll be able to answer any questions your client has. I know you need to consult with regard to the proposed disposition. In that case, you're both free to leave the meeting, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, back on the record regarding Cody Lacy, AM 9686. If you'll come to station 1 now. Were you able to watch the advisement of rights video? Okay, give me just a moment. All right, looks like we'd already gone over the charge. And you've now watched the video. Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces? All right, you have the right to plead not guilty to this charge. If you did, the city would be required to bring your case to trial within 91 days of today's date. That's your right to a speedy trial. It's my understanding that you're willing to waive your right to a speedy trial in order to take advantage of the offer that's been made to you. Is that correct? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to waive your right to a speedy trial against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to waive that right? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then I'll find you've made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of your right to a speedy trial in this case. When you go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerk, they're going to give you a notice of when the 6-month period is up. You're ordered not to return to the property at 11089 Havana Street here in Commerce City. You're to commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations for a period of 6 months from today's date. At the end of the 6-month period, you can contact my staff. They'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal of this charge, assuming nothing goes wrong between now and then. And your case is eligible to be sealed. If you want to find out the process for having the record of this case sealed, ask my clerks at that time, and they can provide that information. Do you have any questions? Okay, go to the windows, see my clerk. Give me a minute. I'm curious. Normally, when we have this many people charged with the same thing at the same place, it's a teenage party. These people clearly are teenagers. And since I'm not going to be doing the trials, if somebody pleads not guilty, I gotta look. I can't help myself. The last time we had this many defendants, it was a big party. Right. Okay. Oh, this is that. Okay, I get it. I heard about this. Now it makes sense. All right. All right, Mary Medina, if you would come to the station number 2, please. Good afternoon. All right, the city attorney satisfied that you've completed the community service. He says that you've told him that you've completed the class, but we don't have the certificate of completion. So I'm inclined to just set this out for about 2 weeks to give you a chance to file it. I'll make a note on here that if you submit it to the court before the next court date, you don't need to appear. Okay, so. Okay, that's good. Let's make sure we get that to the court. I'm going to set your case over. I'm actually going to set it to April 7th at 1:15. That'll give you plenty of time to get that proof and the essay and submit it to the court. Okay? Yeah, you can bring it in or email it if you can scan it and email it. Okay, if you go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerks, they'll take care of it.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll be completely done then after.
Yep, once we get that, I'll enter the order, or the judge will enter the order dismissing the case and you'll be done.
Thank you very much.
Mhm. Okay. See this page? It's your community service page. There's information on here from the person that runs the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless. Make a copy of this, highlight it and make it, give me a copy of it, because I want to make Brian aware of this.
Actually, when I scan it, I can just give that to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I want that number available. The person that I had that was the manager left, and they left like, I want to say 2 years ago. So I didn't have the name of the new person, but here it is. And this is not the same phone number.
Once I scan that, I can get that.
Okay, good. That would be real helpful. And I'll put it on Brian's staff. Is Mr. Starkovich ready to read it?
Judge, can I see Mr. Gowan in a breakout room briefly, real quick, please?
He wants to see Adam.
Oh, Adam.
Okay, so take this back to Adam and then let him know that Mr. Starkovich wants to see him again. All right, Noah Woodruff, if you would unmute your device, please. Noah Woodruff, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, I have a document that alleges that on February 5th of 2022 at 4:30 in the afternoon, in the area of 13069 East 106th Place, the allegation is that Noah committed the offense of damaging property. Noah, do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes.
All right. The city attorney indicates that he wants the matter set over for a pretrial conference. Between now and the next court date, if you complete 16 hours of use of public service, pay $100 in restitution to Turnberry Elementary, and commit no new law violations, then on that date, if everything is in order, I can dismiss this case. Is that how you wish to resolve your case? This one, Armin? Have Krista take that back so that I can knows what Jacob's talking to him about. And I'm sorry, Mr. Woodruff, did you say, yes, you understand
Yes.
what's being offered and this is what you want to do? And are you his mother, Cynthia Woodruff?
Yes,
Okay, and do you understand the charge filed against your son?
yes,
You understand what the city attorney is offering your son in an effort to resolve this case?
yes,
Do you agree that your son is acting in his best interest by accepting this proposed resolution to his case?
yes,
Okay, thank you. And Noah, I think I asked, but let me be clear. Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we're going to set this case over for a pretrial conference. Later today or tomorrow, you're going to get an email from my staff giving you the notice of the new court date and time. They're also going to give you the form we use for community service. You can do the community service anywhere. It does not need to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement that I make is that it must be done at a legitimate nonprofit agency. Church, they might let you do it at schools, food banks, Meals on Wheels, animal shelters. You need to find a place that you want to volunteer at so that it's less like punishment. Do the community service, have them fill out the form, make sure that gets submitted to my court honor before the next court date. My clerks will work out the payment arrangements for the restitution in this case, tell you how to make that. Then just stay out of trouble, and if everything's in order on your next appearance, the judge will dismiss the case. Noah, do you have any questions about what's expected of you?
No.
And Ms. Woodruff, do you have any questions about what's expected of your son?
no.
Okay, then you can leave the meeting. Just keep an eye out for that email. It'll either come later today or tomorrow.
Well, I was gonna go out for a drink. That's on that. Are you kidding me?
All right, Erica Alcala, if you would unmute your device, please. On the record at 9655, EM 9655.
Hello,
Good afternoon.
how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
Nice and warm and toasty in here. Okay, I have a document that alleges that on January 4th of 2022, wait a minute, what's going on? Okay, January 4th of 2022 at about 3:45 in the afternoon, in the area of 7110 Highway 2, it's alleged that you violated the city ordinances against having an animal at large and an animal attack. I think I went over those with you on your last court appearance.
Yes,
So you understand what you're charged with, correct?
yes,
Okay. The city attorney says that you've elected to plead not guilty to these charges and set this case for trial. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay, I'll enter your not guilty, please. We'll set these matters for trial. If there's any witnesses that you wish to have present on the date of your trial that you believe will not appear voluntarily, let my clerk know when they send you the email about the trial date, and they'll issue subpoenas for you free of charge. They'll explain how those subpoenas need to be served on your witnesses and have them in order to have them effectively ordered to appear on the date of your trial. Have you already received the police reports regarding your case?
No.
Okay, make sure to ask for those. My clerks will forward that request to the city prosecutor, and he's required to provide you all of the police reports or statements regarding your case. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any questions?
No,
Okay, so my clerks will send you that email either later today or tomorrow. Have a good
thank you very
afternoon.
much. You too. Let's see. Do I push leave now?
Yep, you can.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. It is, I was just saying, it's a little warm in here.
So Jennifer McGinn will fill you in on this, but I think the court would benefit from an actual report in writing,
Okay.
because there's so much going on. It's mesmerizing.
Okay, oh, good. I was about to ask, are you ready, Mr. Starkovich?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, give me a second while I go through this with you and your client. All right, court's on the record in case number EM 6707. Go ahead and make your entry, Mr. Starkovich.
Jacob Starkovich, attorney registration 321A4, appearing on behalf of Joshua Blatchford. We both appear via Zoom.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Blatchford.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Starkovich, I have a document that indicates that if your client pleads guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original careless driving charge from January 26th of 2022 at about 11 o'clock in the morning in the area of 72nd and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is that a correct statement of the proposed disposition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Blatchford, is this in fact how you wish to resolve your case today by pleading guilty to this reduced charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to consult with Mr. Starkovich regarding the options available to you on the original charge in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the service, advice, and representation that he's given you thus far in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the advisement of rights video on your first appearance in this case?
Judge, I don't think he did, but for the record, I went over all his constitutional 211 rights, and I believe he's doing this knowingly, voluntarily, intentionally, and I'd waive any other further advisement.
Okay, thank you. I'll accept that waiver. Mr. Blatchford, then, has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Starkovich, would you waive the necessity of the establishment of a factual basis to support the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Then, Mr. Blatchford, to the charge of engaging or driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on January 26th of 2022 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Guilty. Your Honor.
I could barely hear you. Could you repeat your answer one more time?
I'm sorry. Guilty, Your Honor.
I'll accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. Mr. Starkovich, anything by mitigate in the way of mitigation?
Judge, Mr. Blatchford's 30 years old. He just turned 30, and he started driving when he was 15. I believe he has 2 or 3 blemishes on his record in 15 years, so it's pretty good. The most recent one, I believe, was a speeding ticket a couple of years ago. Before that, it was back to 2014. Judge, on the night of the accident, I know he was pretty unfamiliar with the area. It was dark. It was night. I've reviewed all the photographs. He was not familiar with the turn lane that he was in, and he didn't want to be turning. So he put his blinker on to turn. The car sped up. He sped up, and the car behind that he essentially cut off, they clipped. That car actually didn't sustain hardly any damage because my client's car got spun around pretty bad into the back of a semi truck and was actually totaled. The semi truck actually drove away, but luckily no one was injured in the accident, and I know he takes responsibility for it. This is his first accident he's been involved in. Judge, I'll let the court know that he is moving to California in about a month or so. He cares for his mother who's on dialysis, and she has some other medical issues that are going on that he's having, to take a pretty big responsibility. So with helping her, but they are going to move to California. I'd ask the court to keep the fine as low as possible because I know he's helping her out with that, and they're going to be moving. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Starkovich, just so that you know, there's a person in vehicle number 3 who was sustained minor injuries. And there were 4 total vehicles involved in the collision. That's what I have. There's nothing in aggravation on his driving record. The prior ticket he got is about 4 months older than I normally consider as an aggravating factor based on prior driving history. So none of that applies. All right, Mr. Blatchford, is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just like to apologize for that evening. I regret it fully. I came to Commerce City from Southeast Denver to work for a small computer shop, and I was really just focused on helping the community over there while also gaining some skills. And this was not my intention at all to bring this type of scenario or situation to Commerce City. I'm terribly sorry.
Do you remember where you were going when this happened?
I was heading home.
So you weren't going to take Highway 85 all the way down to I-270? You were going to turn eastbound on 72nd Avenue and do what, go to Quebec Street or something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And technically, your schedule finds $320 because of the collision and the multiple vehicles involved and the minor injuries. I'll take into consideration the mitigation that Mr. Starkovich provided for you, as well as the plea bargain that he was able to work out for you. So I'm going to take your case from $320 down to $200 plus surcharges, plus court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerk's going to reach out to you by email, either later today or tomorrow. They'll tell you what the total is, and if you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Starkovich, is there anything else I need to address on this case?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You can both leave the meeting. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. McGinn, would you go ahead and unmute your device? Court's on the record regarding Logan Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor. Jennifer McGinn, the guardian ad litem for Logan, who is present, and her aunt, Kimberly Helton, is on the line, and then also Jennifer Navarrete is also Navarrete.
And who is Miss Navarrete?
A step parent.
Okay. Give me a minute. There's 2 cases. Shoot, I must have. There we go. Yep, there's one. All right, in case number EM 13003, this is a first appearance. So is Logan, could you unmute your device, please?
She's next to me. The other device is her therapist who is sitting next to us.
Oh, okay. All right. Ms. McGinn, this is a charge of harassment from February 23rd of 2022 at 12:12 in the afternoon in the area of 9831 Chambers Drive. Would you waive further advisement on this charge?
Yes. I just wanted to point out, though, that I haven't been appointed on that case yet, so I just need to be appointed.
I actually did appoint you. Somebody sent me an email advising me that Ms. Johnson had picked up this other case, and I went ahead and entered an order appointing you on this case.
Oh, okay, I did not receive it.
Okay. We went to, they made it a special point. I did it on Monday, so I don't know why they didn't get it to you right away.
Okay,
All right, that's fine. Point is, you are appointed on this case.
okay.
All right, and I don't know if Logan viewed the advisement of rights video before the first case. It's the same advisement of rights.
We did
so-
it just now today as well.
Oh, okay, that's all I need to know. All right, and so you want these matters set over for another pretrial conference, is that correct?
Yes.
How much time do you need for these two cases?
We discussed 6 weeks.
Hmm?
Now, well, they're in there now.
Okay, wait. 4/21? 4/27, all right. Can you check your calendar for April 27th at 1:15?
That's fine.
Okay, I don't know if it's going to be Judge Klein or Judge Beato hearing this case. I'm a little bit more familiar with Logan's case, more so the older case than this one, because this one's brand new. But I did take a look at it on Monday when they were asking me to appoint you. I'm going to ask if you could provide some type of written report prior to April 27th for either Judge Klein or Judge Beato to have a good understanding of everything going on with Logan, including any diagnosis she's on and any medications that she's on. That way they have a clear understanding of what's going on with her case. And you're familiar with the new law that says that if there is somebody who suffers from certain mental disabilities, municipal court cases must be dismissed. So you may address in your report whether that's applicable in Logan's case or not applicable, or what your opinion is, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
That way they have something concrete to look at when making a ruling on that issue.
Okay.
All right, so April 27th at 1:15. Is there anything else I need to address on these two cases, Ms. McGinn?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. You all may leave the meeting. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Okay, so I wrote across the bottom everything Ms. McGinn needs to submit. So we're on number 3 now, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Mariah Fierro, if you would come to station number 3, please. Oh, I bet I understand what happened before. It's because I opened multiple forms for the person that had the 2 cases, the 2 boys. And so that when I closed one out, the other one was left dangling. And so every time I opened one, it stayed at the front of the line as opposed to getting backed up. Good afternoon. Okay, Mariah, are you 15 or are you 16 now? Right, a couple of weeks ago. All right. I have a document that alleges that on February 25th of 2022, at about 10:20 in the evening, in the area of 5990 Dahlia Street, the Walmart store located here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of theft. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? All right, the city attorney said he reviewed the elements of that charge with you. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty if this case went to trial. Did he go over those elements with you? All right, he also says that you and he have worked out an agreement that we're going to set your case for a new court date. Between now and then, if you complete a 1-day petty theft class, 16 hours of community service, stay out of the Walmart and commit no new law violations, when you come back, if everything is in order, this case can be dismissed. Is that how you wish to resolve your case? Okay, are you her father?
Yes, I am.
And do you understand the original charge filed against your daughter?
Yes, I do.
Do you agree that your daughter is acting in her best interest by accepting this proposed resolution of her case?
Most definitely.
Mariah, did you watch the advisement of rights video? Okay, good. All right, so when you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they're going to give you the notice of the new court date. It's going to be in about 6 weeks. That way, Mariah has plenty of time to get everything done. They're going to give her a referral to the people that put on the class. It's important that you contact them right away, get the class settled or scheduled so it can be completed before the next court date. When she finishes, they'll give her a certificate of completion. She'll have to do an essay about what she learned in the class. Get those both submitted before the next court date. It's her responsibility to do that. My clerks are going to give her the form we use for community service. She can do the community service anywhere. It doesn't have to be done in Commerce City. Find some place that's convenient for you. The only requirement that I make is that the place that you pick must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. To make it less like punishment, I always encourage young people like you, find something that you're interested in volunteering at, something where you might learn something that interests you. That way it's less like punishment. Just make sure the place is a legitimate nonprofit agency. Do the work, have them fill out the form. And again, it's your responsibility to submit that on or before the next court date. Then it's real easy. You're probably trespassed out of all Walmarts nationwide. The only one I have jurisdiction over is the one here in Commerce City. I'm telling you, never go into that store again for any reason. Stay out of trouble. Don't pick up any new cases. If everything is in order when you come back on your next court date, this case gets dismissed. Mariah, do you have any questions about what's expected of you? Do you have any questions about what's expected of you?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead and put your mask back up. Go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerks. They'll take care of everything that you need to accomplish these orders.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Adrian Rodriguez, if you would unmute your device, please.
There you go.
Good.
Adrian Martinez? I'm sorry, Adrian Rodriguez?
Yes.
There you are. Okay. I have a document that alleges that on February 17th of 2022, at about 6:30 in the evening, from the area of 5990 Dahlia Street, the Walmart store located here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of theft. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The city attorney says that he went over the elements of that charge with you. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty of this charge if this case went to trial. Did he go over those elements with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. He also says you and he have worked out an agreement that we're going to set your case for a new court date. Between now and then, if you complete a one-day petty theft class, 16 hours of community service, stay out of the Walmart and don't pick up any new cases. If everything is in order on your next court appearance, this case can be dismissed. Is this how you wish to resolve your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, the person sitting next to you, have her lean in so that I can see her. Hi, are you Angela Rodriguez?
Yes,
And you're his mother?
Yes.
Do you understand the original charge that was filed against your son?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand what the city attorney is offering your son in an effort to resolve this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you agree that your son is acting in his best interest by accepting this proposed resolution to his case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Adrian, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so when you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email either later today or tomorrow. They're going to tell you the new court date. It's going to be in about 6 or 7 weeks. That way you have plenty of time to get everything done. They're going to give you a referral to the people that put on the petty theft class. Those classes fill up fast. So it's really important that you contact them as soon as you can, get the class scheduled so that it's done before the next court date. When you finish the class, they'll give you a certificate of completion. You'll need to write an essay about what you learned in the class. Turn both of those in on or before the next court date. My clerk's going to give you a form for the community service. You don't have to do the community service here in Commerce City. You can do it anywhere. Just find some place that's convenient for you. Best thing to do is find something that interests you. That way it's less like punishment. Just make sure it's at a legitimate nonprofit agency. Do the work, have them fill out the form. And again, it's important that you submit that on or before the next court date. And then the rest is easy. I'm ordering you never to return to the Walmart store here in Commerce City. You're probably passed out of all Walmarts everywhere. The only one I have jurisdiction over is the one here in Commerce City. I'm ordering you, never go back into that store for any reason whatsoever. And don't pick up any new cases. If everything's in order, when you come back on the next court date, this case gets dismissed. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions, Ms. Rodriguez?
How exactly does he do the petty theft class again?
Yeah, my clerks will send you a referral.
Oh.
Show you how to do the online registration. So like I said, as soon as you get that, follow those instructions and try to get that set up so that it's done before the next court date.
Okay,
Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Top. Oh, even and leaving.
So we're back to teenagers, section 15 through 9. I wish they were here so that I could point at that security bubble. Okay, Angelia Martinez, this is case number EM 6713. If you would unmute your device.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
I have a document that says that on February 25th of 2022 at about 10:15 in the evening, in the area of 5990 Dahlia Street, that's the Walmart store located here in Commerce City, it's alleged that Angelia committed the offense of theft. Angelia, do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the city attorney says that he reviewed the elements of that charge with you. In other words, He explained what he would have to prove if your case went to trial in order for you to be found guilty of this charge. Did he go over those elements with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. He also says that you and he have worked out an agreement that we're going to set your case for a new court date. Between now and that next court date, if you complete a one-day petty theft class, 16 hours of community service, stay out of the Walmart and commit no new law violations, when you come back, if everything is in order, this case can be dismissed. Is this how you wish to resolve your case?
Yes.
Okay. And are you her mother, Chloe Martinez?
It's Jamie Ariano. Yes.
Okay. Who's Chloe Martinez?
They asked us that, and we told them that that was none of our parents. And
Okay. Let me have your name again then, your mother.
it is Jamie, Jami, Ariano, Arellano.
All right. And Ms. Ariano, do you understand the original charge filed against your daughter?
I do.
Do you understand what the city attorney is offering your daughter in an effort to resolve this case?
Yes, I do.
Do you agree that your daughter is acting in her best interest by accepting this proposed resolution to her case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Angelia, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes.
All right. We're going to set your case for a pretrial conference. My clerks are going to send you a notice of that by email either later today or tomorrow. It's going to be set out about 6 or 7 weeks to give you plenty of time to get everything done. My clerks will include a referral to the people that put on the petty theft class. It's really important that as soon as you get that, you contact them and get that class set up because those classes fill up really fast. When you finish the class, they'll give you a certificate of completion and you'll have to do an essay about what you learned in the class. It's your responsibility to make sure the certificate and essay are submitted to my court on or before the next court date. My clerks are going to send you the community service form. You can do the community service anywhere. It doesn't have to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement that I make is that the place that you pick to do it has to be a legitimate nonprofit agency. So find some place that's convenient to you. Find some place that's interesting to you. You know, animal shelter, you know, school, church, if you attend a regular church, do it someplace convenient to you. Make sure it's a legitimate nonprofit agency, do the work, have them fill out the form, make sure that gets submitted on or before the next court date. And then the rest is easy. Stay out of the Walmart here in Commerce City. You're probably trespassed out of all Walmarts everywhere. The one I have jurisdiction over is the one here in Commerce City. I'm ordering you never to go back to that store again for any reason whatsoever. And you're to commit no new law violations. If everything is in order when you come back, I completely dismiss this case. Do you have any questions about what's expected of you, Angelia?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Ariano, do you have any questions about what's expected of your daughter?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you can leave the meeting. Keep an eye out for that email from my clerks. Have a good afternoon.
You as well. Thank you.
All right, Michelle Parrott, if you would unmute your device.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Do you have video capacity on the device you're using?
I do. My camera, like up by that top corner where my camera is located, is completely kind of cracked, so it is black when I do turn it on.
Okay, I just need something to be able to verify that you are actually Michelle Parrott. So let me think, what would I choose? Do you have your driver's license handy?
Yeah,
Give me your driver's license number.
110890715.
Okay, all right, I believe it's you. It looks like we've already set this matter for a pretrial once, and you did the class, you owe 16 hours of community service, is that correct?
Yeah, I ended up right after my very first appearance. I ended up getting sick like 3 days later, and I've been sick since. I've gone to the doctor probably about 3 or 4 times, and I'm actually sitting outside of my doctor's office again for another appointment just to kind of see what's going on. 'Cause me and my kids have basically been sick since that Monday after my last court appearance. So.
All right, what I'll do is I'm going to reset your case for another pretrial conference. We're going to set it out, let's see, to, I'm going to go to April 27th at 1:15. No, I'm sorry, April 21st at 1:15. That gives you 5 weeks to do 16 hours of community service. Hopefully you'll start recovering soon so you can get this done, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I was thinking I would be good by this weekend at the very latest, but guess not.
Well, this way we're safe and not sorry. So your next court date is going to be April 21st at 1:15. We'll send you a new form showing you still owe 16 hours of community service. Do you have any
thank you so
questions?
much. I don't.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Thank you so much.
Oh, there you go.
Angela Hampton, please join the breakout room. Angela Hampton. This gentleman emailed me and said, I'm so sorry, I missed court yesterday. What should I do? I looked up his case. It wasn't in there. Chris looked it up and the officer entered it as a test ticket, so we never received it. But he did, and he wants to know what he should do about missing his court date yesterday. Do you want to this or whenever it's seen, or do you want to?
So it's not in the system?
Because officer
Can see. That's not properly called.
Nothing like a video, like half an hour or an hour.
Okay, Maeve Sisk. Which one are we on?
I cleaned them up.
Okay, you'll go to number 1. Good afternoon. Okay, and you're Raul Martinez? All right. I have a document that alleges that on February 1st of 2022 at 12:15 in the afternoon, in the area of 4451 East 72nd Avenue, it's a school, Adams City High School. No, middle school, right. They wrote high school, but that's the middle school. All right, it's alleged that Maeve committed the offense of assault. Maeve, do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? All right, the city attorney says that he went over the elements of that charge with you. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove if your case went to trial in order for you to be found guilty of committing this offense. Did he go over those elements with you? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? The city attorney also indicates that you and he have worked out an agreement that we're going to set your case for a pretrial conference. Between now and that next court date, which is going to be about 6 or 7 weeks out, if you complete the young offender class, 16 hours of use of public service, stay away from Cardoso, I'm sorry, commit no new law violations, and we'll address the issue of restitution at the next hearing. But if everything is in order, when you come back, this case can be dismissed. Nate, is this how you wish to resolve things? Okay, and Mr. Martinez, are you her father? Do you understand the original charge filed against your daughter? Do you understand what the city attorney is offering your daughter in an effort to resolve this case? Do you agree that your daughter is acting in her best interest by accepting this proposed resolution to her case? Don't tell me about the facts of the case. Yeah, today's not a trial. It's not a mitigation statement or anything. It's just, do you want to do this or not want to do this? Okay. All right. So what will happen when you go to the windows in the lobby, my clerk's going to give you the notice of the new court date. It's going to be about 6 or 7 weeks out. That way you have plenty of time to get everything done. They'll give you the referral to the people that put on the class. Go ahead and contact those people fairly quickly. Get signed up for the class so that you can have it completed before the next court date. You're going to have to do an essay about what you learned from the class as well. Make sure those get turned in on or before the next court date. My clerk is going to give you a form we use for community service. Find something that interests you so that it's less like punishment. You can do it anywhere. It does not have to be done in Commerce City. You can do it in Thornton if you want. Just make sure that the place that you pick is a legitimate nonprofit agency. That's the only condition that I make. Make sure it's a legitimate nonprofit. Do the work, have them fill out the form. Again, it's your responsibility to submit the form on or before the next court date. Then it's really simple. Stay away from Ruby Cardoso. Don't pick up any new cases. We'll deal with restitution if there is any at the next hearing. I don't expect that to be resolved before then, so I'm not going to worry about it, and you shouldn't either. But if everything else is in order, when you come back, the case gets dismissed. Maeve, do you have any questions? Mr. Martinez, do you have any questions? Do you remember, do you know when? Yeah, yeah, it's probably going to be set on, let's see, April 27th is what my clerk just told me. I was going to say May 4th or 5th, but all right. So we'll set this matter for a pretrial conference, April 27th at 1:15. If you go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerks, they'll give you all the information that I just went over with you. Okay? Thank you. Rael Mercado, if you would unmute your device. And do you have a parent with you?
Yeah. Yes, I'm right here.
Okay, and you're Jasmine Cervantes?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, Rael, I have a document that alleges that on February 15th of 2022 at about 3:15 in the afternoon, in the area of the 7200 block of East 72nd Avenue, that's the high school. It alleges that you, oh, come on, at the school, unlawful possession of a pellet gun at school. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes.
The city attorney said he reviewed the elements of the charge with you. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove if your case went to trial in order for you to be found guilty of committing this offense. at trial. Did he go over those elements with you?
Yes.
All right. He's indicated that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of engaging in disorderly conduct on that date, he will dismiss the illegal discharge and possession or illegal possession of a pellet gun at school charge against you. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes.
Okay, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes.
Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you are waiving all of the trial and appeal-related rights that you were advised of on this video?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will?
No.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No.
Then to the charge of engaging in disorderly conduct on February 15th of 2022 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And Ms. Cervantes, do you understand the original charge filed against your son?
Yes.
You understand the reduced charge the city attorney is offering your son in an effort to resolve this case?
Yes.
Do you agree that your son is acting in his best interest by pleading guilty to this reduced charge?
Yes.
Thank you. Then I will accept his guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. Give me just a moment.
Okay.
All right, Raul, is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, sir.
Ms. Cervantes, is there anything you want me to take into consideration?
No.
Carmen, is the teens and tobacco class still on the drop-down menu? Is it? I wonder why not. All right, that's fine. Okay, I want you to listen very carefully to how I'm imposing this sentence against you. I'm going to impose and suspend all of a $300 fine. The entire fine is suspended because this is the first offense that I'm showing that you're committing here. There's going to be court costs that your mom has to pay of $29. I'm ordering that you get referred to the place called The Link. I'm going to order that the referral be to either do a teens and tobacco class or a drug and alcohol education class if teens and tobacco isn't available. You need to understand the harmful decisions you're making by vaping, and you're going to get the same type of education with regard to those effects, whether you take a teens and tobacco class or a drug and alcohol class. So it's going to be one or the other. I'm going to let The Link decide which one they think you need. I'm going to order that you do 48 hours of useful public service. That's a little bit more than I normally order because I'm also going to make another order. I'm going to make you do a report for the court. It's got to be at least 300 word essay on the Columbine incident that happened in Colorado about 10 years ago. When teenagers take guns to school, and I know it was in your backpack, you weren't out flashing it around, you scare not only the teachers, the principals, the students in the school, but the entire community. And there's a very good reason. When you were just a little kid, two young men went into their high school and shot a bunch of people, killed them. And I want you to understand that I know, you know, whether it's a pellet gun or not, you can't bring it to school. I know you know that because they tell you, no knives, no guns. It's like one of the first things they tell you, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I want you to understand why. And I want you to write it down so that the judge can read it and understand that you grasp why it's so important. Did you get expelled from school over this incident?
No.
Did you get suspended?
Yes.
For how long?
2 weeks.
They're doing you a favor because under the old law that existed about 2 years ago, bringing either a gun, even a pellet gun, or a knife to school was an automatic 1-year expulsion. They changed that rule, but that's what it was as recently as 2 years ago. So I want you to understand how serious a charge you were facing in this case, okay? I'm ordering the gun forfeit. So when you leave the meeting, my clerks will reach out to you by email either later today or tomorrow. They're going to tell your mom how to make the arrangements to pay the $29 in court costs. They're going to give you the referral to The Link. You'll need to contact them to set up the evaluation, and then they'll refer you to either the drug and alcohol class or the teens and tobacco class. My clerks are going to send you the form we use for community service. You need to find a place that you want to volunteer at. It has to be a legitimate nonprofit agency. It does not have to be in Commerce City. It can be anywhere, but it needs to be a legitimate nonprofit agency. Do the community service, have them fill out the forms, submit that to the court by the deadline my clerks give you. Do the essay about Columbine, go to the newspapers, go online, read what you can, do an essay about what you learned about that event. Submit that to the court by the deadline my clerks give you. And then finally, no new law violations. You need to stay out of trouble for a period of 1 year from today's date. Do you have any questions about what's expected of you?
No, sir.
Ms. Cervantes, do you have any questions?
The community service, can he do it in school?
If they let him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a legitimate nonprofit.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Any other questions?
No, that'd be it.
All right, you can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Colby Schaefer, if you would unmute your device. This is EM 14032.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. I have a document that alleges that on February 27th of 2022, at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, in the area of 11089 North Havana Street here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of trespass. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes, sir.
All right, the city attorney said that he reviewed the elements of the charge with you. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove if this case went to trial in order for you to be found guilty. Did he go over those elements with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes.
Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No, sir.
All right, city attorney says that you and he have worked out an agreement that we're not going to require that you enter a plea today. He's offering you a 6-month deferred prosecution. What that means is rather than entering a plea today, we'll simply hold your case in suspense for 6 months. If you follow the conditions of the deferred, at the end of 6 months, without the need for you to appear, this case can be dismissed. The conditions are that you waive your right to a speedy trial, that you not return to the property at 11089 Havana Street, and that you commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations in Commerce City for that period of 6 months. Do you understand what's being offered to you?
Yes, sir.
And is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, sir.
All right, when you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email, either later today or tomorrow. They're going to give you a notice of when the 6 months is up. Oh, I forgot. You have the right today to plead not guilty to this charge. If you did, the city would be obligated to bring your case to trial within 91 days of today's date. That's your right to a speedy trial. Do you understand that by agreeing to this, you're required to waive your right to a speedy trial?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to waive your right to a speedy trial against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to waive that right?
No, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
All right, I'll accept that you've made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of your right to a speedy trial. All right, so when you get that notice from my clerks, it'll tell you what the 6-month period is. Assuming there's no violations of the deferred prosecution, after that date, you can contact my staff. They'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal. If you wish to have the record of this case sealed, ask my clerks and they can explain how to go through that process at that time. Do you have any questions about what's expected of you?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Have a good afternoon.
All right. Thank you. You too.
All right, Bernice Coronado, if you would unmute your device.
Yes.
Okay, I've seen that you've been emailing and contacting my staff. The problem is you weren't providing enough information for me to rule on your case for today. I wasn't sure if you had signed up for the class and already had it scheduled, or you had not done anything.
No, I haven't done anything.
Okay, obviously now I'm aware of that. So we'll reset your case for another pretrial conference. It'll be in about 6 weeks. My clerks will send you new forms for the class, new forms for the community service. You need to understand, we're not likely to reset it beyond that next date, so you need to get everything done, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, so my clerks will send you everything by email, either later today or tomorrow. Keep an eye out for that email, and then let's get everything done, all right?
Okay, thank you so much.
You can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Bye-bye.
I've already seen Angelina Martinez. I think for some reason.
No, I think it's that. We just have two left. One battle stopping.
All right, Bernice Coronado is in my mail queue.
Okay.
She's the one I just did. When you're done processing that, you can get it out of my queue.
I'll try to remember to do that, but I think once I do it, it should come out of your queue.
We'll
But
see.
We'll double check.
It is starting to clear finally. It's starting to clear.
Oh, how long do those go?
They're all just wet.
Are they?
Yeah, they're, I don't think, unless it gets really cold tonight, which it's not supposed to, I don't think it's gonna be beyond wet.
Good.
Yeah, even in the high country, it looks like they're just wet. And interestingly enough, I was gonna go I-25 because they plow that better, but it's already done snowing on 285. And if the roads are just wet, then my only concern is if it gets too cold, they'll freeze. But I don't think that's gonna happen tonight. Because it's gonna be in the upper 20s. It usually takes more than that. And there's no expectation of a big wind, which is the real killer up there.
Yes.
You go up near Fairplay when it's windy, that's a mean drive.
Sometimes it's windy up there.
It is. I don't know why anybody lives up there because that wind is fierce.
Because we did Marcus likes to go to Ontario and fish.
Mhm.
He cannot wait.
Yeah, oh yeah. As soon as you start coming back, it's buffeting the car.
Yes, you're fighting again.
Mhm.
You're steering wheel.
Yeah, the last time I went up there, there was only like 3 places where the wind had blown the snow over the road and people had lost it there and slid off the road. Because the wind is blowing and it's iced up that section of road. You know, the other places it was pretty good, but for one place it was like 3/4 of a mile and it ended at a bridge. And right on the other side of the bridge, there was pickup trucks on the side of the road.
One time we went and we were right out at the top of the mountain where they, what is the place where they go all hiking at?
Kenosha?
Yeah, right up the pass
Mhm.
and the semi hit. Flipped over right at that turn and
Right.
everybody, and I don't know if it was because he hit traffic.
Mhm.
You know, people are backed up right then, they're coming up that mountain.
Right.
And then you gotta make that turn right there. I don't know if he was going too fast or if it was wind, but I was
Could be
like,
wind.
there was traffic jam for a while.
I was going down and on the other side of Kenosha and there was a passing area and the truck was on the right-hand lane and everybody's passing on the left. Before I got to him, the wind hit him and he moved all the way over. So people had to go in the oncoming lane to avoid getting hit. I said, I'm not in that big of a hurry. I'll just stay behind him until we get out of the wind.
Well, Allison got back on and now she's gone again, so when she comes back on, I'll try to get her to.
I don't really know what to do with him. It looks like he did the community service. He, of course, can bring it to us or get it to us and we can't email it to us, but I saw with my own eyes, it looked like he did it.
It's on his phone or something?
Our Lady of Mother. No, he's just holding it with his phone.
Where does he live? Let's look at the ticket. Give me the case number.
We've got two cases.
Ah, I hate this.
It's gonna pass and come back on our story later, but she's the one that was here doing, and I don't know if you had a chance to talk to her. Angela Hanson.
Want to be tomboy.
He lives 2 blocks this way. Yeah, Alicio Cordray?
Yeah.
Yeah, put on a coat, put on some boots, bring that proof of the community service over to the courthouse. Are you at home?
Yes, sir.
Any reason why you can't just run it over here?
Gonna do that shit. I gotta get the classes done.
Yeah, I need the proof of your community service.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that over today.
Okay, oh, he says that you still owe the class, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you do this? Is there any reason why you can't be here in like the next 15 or 20 minutes?
Well, it's just I have a ride issue, so I could have my ride, but I'll bring it over.
Well, I was gonna have you sign for everything.
Sign for the classes and stuff.
Well, we're gonna give you all the paperwork and sign it. I'll tell you what, I'm just gonna set both of these cases over for a pretrial conference. You need to bring in the proof of the community service. We'll send you another referral to the class. Let's make sure you get it done this time, and you need to get it to the court honor before the next court date, okay?
All right.
All right, and if somebody can bring it over before 4:30 or 4 o'clock, that would be better, all right?
All right.
All right, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. We'll get you that new information by email.
All right. Good looks.
I don't show that Miss Harmon was on that signed off.
Who's that?
Miss Harmon, she was on here before and then she disappeared.
Oh, it's Hampton.
Oh, Hampton, I don't see her either.
Yeah, she is, 1 o'clock. Angela
Oh,
Hampton.
Angela Hampton.
Yes,
Okay.
she keeps coming in and out. I don't know what's going on with her. And when we send her the link to her, just put it in by the day and see if she, I don't know why she was going in, because I had even sent her into a breakout room with Adam, and I was like, no one's there, and then I looked and nope, she's gone, so I don't know. Is she driving around and having issues or what, but
Who knows?
how long are you?
3:30, just, oh, it is 3:30.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Not very much longer. So Adam is waiting for her too, right?
Yeah, he never had a chance to talk to her. Angela? Hi, do you have a chance to send us into Zoom? Because you keep going in and out and we're ready for you. I mean, the city attorney's been waiting to talk to you. Okay, try again right now, and then we're gonna put you right into the breakout room with the city attorney.
last one. We're waiting for you. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, I can't see.
All Kidman asked me, what's the word for what happened during that trial? Like, how do you know if it was dismissed? Hey, isn't there a longer word? I don't know, not guilty. Isn't there a longer word? I don't know, directed verdict? Not that. I have to close out this file. I'm like, I don't know, you lost. Does that work? Here's the problem, the story behind the story.
Off the record. Unmuted. All right, court's on the record in case number CM 00289-275 regarding Angela Hampton. Good afternoon, Ms. Hampton.
Good afternoon.
All right, I have a document that alleges. Wait, is this a warrant case? No. No, it's just, it's taken a long day to get her court date. Okay, I have a document that alleges that on December 23rd of 2021, at about 9:22 in the evening, from there at 5990 Dahlia Street, that's the Walmart store located here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of theft. Do you understand the charge that was filed against you?
Yes.
All right, the city attorney says that he just went over the elements of that charge with you. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove if your case went to trial in order for you to be found guilty of this charge. Did he go over those elements with you?
Yes.
All right. He also says that you and he have worked out an agreement that we're going to set your case for a pretrial conference date. Between now and then, if you complete a one-day parenting class, a one-day petty theft class, 16 hours of community service, stay out of the Walmart and commit no new law violations, excluding routine traffic violations. If everything is in order when you come back, this case can be dismissed. Is this how you wish to resolve your case?
Yes.
Okay. Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes.
Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No.
All right. When you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email either later today or tomorrow. They're going to send you the notice of the new court date. It's going to be in about 6 or 7 weeks. That way you have plenty of time to get everything done. They're going to give you the referrals to the class, both classes. It's important that you contact those people as soon as you can, get signed up for those classes so you can have them done on or before the next court date. When you finish the classes, they're going to give you certificates of completion. It's really important that you submit those certificate of completions on or before the next court date, okay?
Okay.
All right, my clerks are also going to send you the form we use for community service. You can do the community service anywhere. It does not have to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement that I make is that the place you pick to do the community service must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. You know, churches, schools, rec centers, Meals on Wheels, food banks, Goodwill, Salvation Army, any place you want, just make sure it's a legitimate nonprofit, do the community service, have them fill out the form. And again, it's your responsibility to submit that to the court on or before the next court date. And then the rest is easy. Stay out of the Walmart. You can never go into the Walmart here in Commerce City again for any reason, and don't pick up any new cases. If everything's in order when you come back, case gets dismissed. Do you have any questions?
Is just the Commerce City Walmart or any Walmart?
They probably have trespassed you from all Walmarts nationwide. That's their policy. The only one I have jurisdiction over is the one here in Commerce City, and I'm ordering you never to go back into that store, okay?
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
Nope.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Keep an eye out for that email, all right?
Thank you.
Uh-huh.